Look, it's no secret that as a tech YouTuber, I get sent a ton of items by various vendors to try out, and that's genuinely a privilege, and it's super exciting to always see what's inside the box, what it's all about. But the truth of the matter is that only a handful of those items truly ever live up to the expectation or hype the manufacturer or vendor claimed. And once I get enough of those truly worthy items, I like to make videos like this one where I call them out because they deserve that attention. And today I'm going to be talking about a list of tech items, accessories, gears, and even a non-tech item that I think are genuinely awesome, if for nothing else, the actual purpose they fulfill. Now keep in mind that while a lot of these items are sent by various vendors, nothing here is paid, so everything's on this list simply because I think it's worthy of being on this list. If you are interested in learning more about it, there will be links in the video description below, so let's not stand in ceremony and get started. I've started traveling a lot more frequently due to my business needs, and as a byproduct of that, I've started kind of building a backpack collection, which is an odd hobby, but I kind of like it. Now, one backpack that's really come to light for me in recent times is the AER City Pack Pro 2. It is a relatively new backpack with AER's collection, however, it is absolutely awesome. It's got a clean, simple, traditional design. It's got a high quality build with a 60 ADD Cordura rating with ballistic nylon fibers, and you also have a medium-sized 24-liter capacity. But what really makes this backpack special is the versatility around it. So, for example, you have a easy access pocket at the front over here. You can easily fit in charging cables and adapters. You've got a top pocket over here where you can fit smaller items like pens and notebooks or medical items. Then you've got the main compartment, which is like a lay flat storage option basically, and you can put in like your tech pouch, you can put in your headphones and your cases as well. Heck, you can even fit a full-size keyboard over here if you wanted. And then you have two further storage compartments to keep smaller stuff like external hard drives and cables and accessories, whatnot. And then of course you have a dedicated back pocket for your laptop. You can fit up to a 16-inch device in here. The MacBook fits in perfectly. It's well protected thanks to all the padding around it. You also have another top pocket for smaller items like medical items, for example. And I also want to mention the ergonomics over here are fantastic. You have a harness system to help, distribute the weight when you have a full load. And also it's really breathable. So if your back heats up a lot and you sweat a lot, it helps mitigate that. And I also want to mention you do have a water bottle carrying system on either side with the pouches, though it'll fit about a 500 milliliter bottle, but not anything larger than that. Overall, though, I think this is a very nice all day long backpack, and it easily fits on flights as well, so you don't have to worry about oversized baggage issues with this thing. So one that I can definitely recommend. Sure, it's not the cheapest one on the block, but it certainly has all the value you need for this thing to fulfill all your storage needs when you're on traveling. Let me know what you think of the AER City Pack Pro 2. Links will be in the video description below. Traveling is cool, but the fact is I spend like 80 or 90% of my time right here at my work desk, and that's my bread and butter table. I've recently switched my Mac Studio for a MacBook Pro, which meant I wanted a nice vertical stand, and the HumanCentric stand was honestly my default go-to choice. It's got a clean industrial design, a full aluminum body that, by the way, perfectly matches in terms of color tone my silver MacBook Pro. Like, it is a one-to-one comparison. I love it. And then it's got a rubberized grip to make sure that my MacBook Pro firmly stays in place, and you can even change the rubber grips if you have a larger or smaller laptop, so it's not technically proprietary to a MacBook Pro, though it certainly is designed to match nicely with one. One of the only downsides of owning a laptop in a full-time capacity is that you just don't get the same I/O port diversity you would with a desktop or a Mac Studio. Fortunately, a good docking station can fix all of that. I did a ton of research and ultimately ended up reaching out to Kensington and asking if they were willing to send me the SD5900T station, and there's a number of reasons I got this thing. So firstly, it's actually got a little bit of personality to it thanks to that midnight blue color tone. Normally docking stations are boring, and it's a nice change of breath. Now, with that said though, the real reason I got this thing is because it's got a 16-in-1 hub capacity, so it's got Type A ports, Type C ports, Thunderbolt 4 ports, and also it's explicitly designed to work with the M series MacBooks. Also, I want to mention that you can support up to quad 4K displays thanks to a mixture of HDMI, DisplayPort, and Thunderbolt 4 connection. Speaking of TB4, you get the full 40 gigabits per second speed, and also you get up to 100 watts of power output, so you can completely charge a MacBook Pro at the full 96 watt rating. I also want to mention the fact that this thing is extremely small in its form factor, so it conveniently fits in small or large workspaces. In my case, I have it under my desk, under the desk shelf, and it just looks really nice and petite over there. It's highly accessible. You have a SD card reader and a micro SD card reader as well. You've got Ethernet jacks and everything in between. This is definitely one that's going to last for a long time and lives up to its value. I also have an obsession for keyboards. In fact, it's gotten so out of hand that I've had to make dedicated storage to keep all the keyboards that I use in review. Now, currently, two keyboards I want to talk about are both from Iconix. The first one is the Magi 65. Essentially, it's a low-profile aluminum keyboard with a 65% layout, in case the name didn't give it away. It's also got a very slim profile. I mean, it's just 11 millimeters tall at its highest point with the body frame, and you do have some amazing elements. It's fully backlit with RGB lighting. It also comes in a slightly larger version that has special keys, and what really makes this thing stand out is that it's completely hot swappable, so you can replace the individual keycaps as well as the switches beneath them. And you have PBT coated keycaps, by the way, with anti-oil coating, but also the fact that you get those iconic gold red switches over here. And the result is that you have a 40-gram actuation force, which makes it a linear but almost marble-like typing experience. And I also want to mention that the layered design here with the Latre Mont design does a ton of sound dampening, and again, just provides a very creamy feel with this keyboard. Now, you also have tri-mode connectivity and an insane 300 hours of runtime with backlighting off on a single charge. Of course, talk is cheap. Here's a sound test for your listening pleasure. For those of you who might prefer a slightly larger keyboard, the Iconix MQ80 is your go-to choice. I mean, it's got the same high-quality aluminum CNC design over here. It's got a slim design with 20 millimeters total height, including the keycaps. And by the way, the keycaps are PBT, and they do have a anti-oil coating, so they won't get greasy over time. And it's fully backlit with a full RGB palette. Now, of course, the keyboard is completely hot swappable, so you can replace the individual keycaps as well as the switches beneath them. And just like the Magi 65, you do get the gold red switches, though they're slightly modified with a 45-gram actuation force this time. And you'll appreciate the fact that it gives you a slightly more tactile typing experience, though it's still very much within the realms of linear. Now, I do want to mention that the layered design here provides that perfect bounce thanks to the Latre gasket mount style here. That's again explicitly designed for this keyboard. And also you do of course have the same tri-mode connectivity, a whopping 350 hours of runtime on a single charge, and via software support. Now, of course, again, talk is cheap, so there's the sound test for your reference. Edifier's QR65 active speaker monitors are something that I pretty much fell in love with the first time I saw them on the internet. I mean, look at the premium design language here. You've got fall leather all around, you've got a ton of cool branding, they even provide you with the height raters with a 10-degree angle, so you get the optimal sound angle, but better yet, these speakers are loaded with a ton of features. Firstly, they've got a total 70-watt output, so they get quite loud, they have decent bass, but they seem to excel particularly with the mid-range and high ranges, meaning vocal clarity is off the charts. I really like it. Now, of course, one of the coolest features here is the RGB lighting effects here. I mean, normally RGB is so overused, it's not fun, but they have this hallway effect over here that's so smooth, and the animations are amazing. You can control all of them with the Edifier Connect X app. And I also want to mention the fact that you have Bluetooth version 5.3 built in, so you can stream content directly from your phone. Now, you do have GAN 65-watt charging capacity thanks to the 2 Type-C ports and 1 Type-A port at the backside, so you can charge stuff like your smartphone or tablet or any other smart device in general. These speakers really did catch my attention for their aesthetics, but their sound quality manages to keep up as well. And honestly, if you're looking to bring some personality to your desk, these are probably the best looking speakers out there right now, bar to none. Look, having a nice workspace is fancy and all, but sometimes you just want to take it casual and relax a little, and that's where the Pacha lounge chair is an instant favorite of mine. I spend hours at a time sitting on this thing. While not technically a tech item, I certainly do use my tech on it all the time. It's got an ultra plush design over here and a really soft fabric feel, making it super comfortable to sit on. Sometimes I fall asleep, though I'm not going to share that in the B-rolls. I'm not exactly the prettiest sight, honestly speaking. And one of the coolest things is that you get a full 360-degree swivel over here, so you can literally spin yourself to your pleasure's content. Another thing that I absolutely enjoy is just that white color tone really matching with my living space. It does come in other colors as well in case you have different tones for your living space, and it's also actually relatively light for such a well-built product, meaning it's easier to move around, something that we don't always think about. You'll want to check out today's website for some awesome replica furniture. They have tons of other cool items. I've used them myself in the past a few times, and I have actually showcased another product that I have from them. Again, these guys are absolutely awesome and the quality is definitely there. I also want to quickly mention the Orbitkey Nest V2. Now this one is a little bit more selective because it is pretty darn expensive. However, what makes it cool aside from its really cool looking design with that hard fabric finish and that hard shell case is the fact that it has a modular Velcro based tab system, so you can kind of move them around to fit various accessories snugly in place. If you don't really care about that, if you just stuff everything, then you're better off with a standard organizer. But in my case, I like having that organization. This thing really does the job well. You also have a built-in wireless charger at the top lid over here, USB-C powered, so you can literally charge your iPhone while you're at it. And again, this thing is really cool for anyone who's really OCD about their organization, and it fits really nicely under my desk shelf as well, so definitely one I'll recommend in that capacity. That's pretty much a wrap for this video, guys. These were all the items that I genuinely thought were worth your attention. I get a lot more items than the ones I've just shown here, but the fact is a lot of them just aren't worth the hype, and I don't think they really provide the value that they claim. So I like to keep things nice and simple, which is why this list was relatively small. Keep in mind, everything I mentioned here does have product links in the video description below, so you can check it out for yourself and see all the other cool features that they have. Now, as always, if you enjoy this kind of content, make sure you consider subscribing to our channel and hitting that like button. It provides my bread and butter and means the world to me. You guys are awesome. Thank you for watching. Catch you in the next one.